Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If it's your first time here, my name is Michael Shu and welcome. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I want to thank all of you guys for stopping on my channel. I really appreciate it. Today we'll be talking about how much money CFI really makes. The whole point of this video is to bring a little bit of transparency and to give you an expectation of how much you'd make once you start instructing. I know a lot of people that are watching my video are in the middle of their training or wanting to begin training. This video is just to let you know what you can expect once you are done with your training and how much you would make. Be sure to watch the end of this video as I will tell you how much my hourly rate is as a flight instructor, and I'll tell you roughly how much I made in the month of December. So be sure to watch to the end. But before we dive into this video, if you guys are not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you guys went down and smash the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Alright, let's dive right in. First off, we're going to have to talk about the two different types of schools a CFI can instruct in. And we're going to be breaking down the two different types and talking about the pros and cons of each. First off, we're going to talk about the first one, which is a flight school. It's just a place where students can come and learn, and you as an instructor will just have to teach the students. Let's talk about the pros of a flight school first. Because it's a flight school, the school is going to do all the marketing, so you as an instructor don't have to go out and find students. The school is going to give you students, which is super nice. All you have to do is show up and instruct. Another thing that's great about working at a flight school, sometimes that they pay insurance and give you benefits, which is really nice because living in America, insurance and all that benefit stuff is expensive. So having a flight school to pay for all that is really great. So those are some of the pros of working at a flight school. You don't have to go and find your own students. The school just give you students, which is really nice. It saves you a ton of time, especially when you just start out. Number two is that sometimes they cover insurance, which is really nice. Like I said, insurance and benefits can be very expensive. So those are the two benefits of working at a flight school. Let's talk about some of the negatives, the cons of working at a flight school. Number one, flight school, they might not pay you as much because you are using the flight school's resources. They will take a cut of how much a student is supposed to pay the flight instructor. Let's say, for example, and this is normal and standard across all flight schools, but let's say a student pays the hourly rate of a flight instructor. Let's say it's $80. The student is going to pay $80 for the instructor fee. However, the school is going to keep the majority of that, and this flight school will give you, let's say, only $25 or $30 of the $80. Another thing that working in a flight school that you have to keep in mind is that you might not get as many students as you want. The flight school has so many students, but they have to divide all those students evenly among all the other flight instructors. So let's say there are 15 students and there are 5 instructors, which means each instructor would get 3 students. 3 students is actually not a lot of students, so that could be a downside working at a flight school. However, like I said, you don't have to go out and look for 3 students on your own. The school will just give you 3 students, which will save you a ton of time. You might be wondering, how much do flight schools actually pay their instructors? Well, when I was working as a fuel service guy at the airport, I was looking for a flight job, and I went to every single flight school on the airport asking how much they pay. And the lowest paying flight school is $25 an hour. And the highest paying flight school is $40 an hour. And there are some reasons why some pay higher and some pay lower. I believe the lowest paying flight school does pay their benefits and insurance and all that, whereas $40 an hour flight school might not pay the benefits and insurance. So that's something you're gonna have to look into when you are applying for a flight school. And all the other flight schools on the airport paid in between $25 and $40. Some paid $28, some paid $35, and then the highest was $40. So So that's gonna be the ballpark of how much you would be making if you work at a flight school, anywhere between $25 to $40. Let's talk about the second type of place you can instruct at, which you would be a freelancer or independent contractor. Let's start off with the pros of being like a freelance flight instructor. Number one, the pay is a lot better, which means you get to keep 100% of what the student pays the instructor fee. So normally people would charge $80 an hour as instruction time and you get to keep $80, whereas at flight school, the student pays $80, you might only keep $25 or $30 of the $80. However, if you do work independently as a freelance contractor, you get to keep 100%, you keep all that $80, which is nice. $80 an hour is a lot of money. However, the downside of working as an independent or a freelancer is that you have to go out and look for your own students. Especially when you first finish training and you're eager to start instructing people, it might be hard for you to find new students, especially when you have such low time hours. If you are an independent contractor and you only have 200, 300 hours, will they choose to learn from you, or they choose to learn from someone who has 800 or 900 hours? So you, as someone that's just starting out instructing that low time pilots, it might be difficult for you to look for students. And that's one of the biggest challenges working as a freelance instructor, is finding all your students. Another thing with working as a freelancer is that you have to find a place that are able to rent you planes. And because they rent you planes, you might not know what the maintenance is like, how they take care of the airplanes, versus a flight school where you know where they do all their maintenance. All their maintenances are done on time. Whereas if you instruct at a flight club, let's say, you don't know how old the airplanes are, you don't know if the maintenance are good, you don't know if the airplanes are good. So these are all things to consider about. They pay more, but you're gonna have to look for your students on your own, which can be very tough, and you don't know if the airplanes are good or not. So those are the two types of flight school. Number one is an actual flight school where they find students for you. They pay anywhere from $25 to $40. And the second type is a freelance where you gotta keep 100% of what the student pays for. But like you can see, there are pros and cons to each, and that's something you're gonna have to decide for yourself. Now you know the two different types of flight school. Let's talk about some reasons why some months you as an instructor might be making more money, or compared to some months you'd be making a lot less money, all right? Some reasons why you might be making more money is because suddenly your students want to be flying more regularly and you're getting more students, you're teaching them more, you're spending more time with the students, and if you're spending more time with the students, you're able to charge them for more time. And some reasons, like December or holiday season, students just don't want to fly. They want to take breaks, they want to go visit their families, they won't be flying as regularly as normal seasons. So those are some of the reasons why you might be making less money. There are going to be a lot of different reasons why students suddenly stop flying. Money issue is a big thing. As all of you guys know, flight training is not cheap, and sometimes students just run out the funds to pay for flight training, so they might have to take a break. Some students you have might be wanting to fly more regularly, like 3-4 times a week, and some students just can't afford that. Some students can only pay for once or twice a week, and they're working on the side, so they won't be studying as much, but they're trying what they can do to pay for the flight training. So those are some of the reasons why, as an instructor, some months you might be making more money and some months you might be making less money. So these are all factors you as an instructor has to consider about whether you want to work at a flight school where it's a lot more stable, where the flight school gives you students but they pay you less, or you can be freelance and you have to go out and look for your students, and the students that you get might not be flying every single day, they might not be flying every single week. These are just things you want to be considering about, all right? So now you guys know the two different types of flight schools and how much they pay and all that good stuff. As promised, let me tell you how much I make at my flight school. I make $25 an hour, which you guys know is on the lower end, which is totally fine to me because right now I am not going after the highest pay. Right now I'm just focusing on getting hours because my end goal is going into the airlines. I'm just trying to find a way to meet my needs, get some money, and fly as much as I can. So I'm getting $25 an hour, like I said, not much at all. And last month, in the month of December, if you guys are not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and leave a thumbs up. But last month, in the month of December, I've only made $1,000, which is absolutely not a lot. The whole point of me telling you how much I make is a little transparency and to give you an expectation of how much you would make. Like I said, $1,000 is not a whole lot, but the month of December is also where there's a lot of holidays, where people are traveling, going back to see their families, just take time off for Christmas and New Year's, and that's why I haven't been flying a lot, and that's why I haven't been getting paid a whole lot this past month. So me as a flight instructor, I get paid $25 an hour. In the month of December, I made $1,000. I hope you found this video helpful. If you guys like this video, please subscribe and leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any more questions about the pay. But that's gonna be it for this video. Like I said, if you found it helpful, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye!